So can we start, Pratibha?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So welcome everybody and thank you for joining us live. Welcome to Exploring the Gold Mine and I am your host Vandana. India, where stories have been from one generation to another since ages. When we were small, we heard stories from our parents and grandparents, which got converted into listening or seeing the stories through the pictures, then moved on to comics, and which got replaced by romantic novels as we stepped into teens, and so on and so forth. But what remains constant throughout is the fact, the stories which are woven around the thread of love. I personally believe that every story has this element of love, which is the primary element. All other elements are secondary and which actually shoots out from this element called love, whether it is jealousy, whether it is dislike, whether it is hate, whether it is, for that matter, crying. It's thrilling and it's amazing to know that in India, storytelling and story listening has happened and is happening 1600 dialects. Whatever be the dialect, whatever be the language, whatever or whatever be the ideology, story and story listening is what is constant and which has the power to bind us and the magic to touch our hearts. Or should I say, the authors have the power to connect the world through their stories. I introduce to you our today's guest, Pratibha Das Hathiburwa, who is with me today, an author and an entrepreneur. But what fascinates me most about this Wonder Woman is the author part of her. Wonder Woman, are you wondering? Of course, Wonder Woman, an entrepreneur, a family maker, a wife, a mother of two, and as an author, trying to explore her creativity, trying to expand her horizons, and trying to carve a niche for herself, along with juggling between all these responsibilities, is no easy task at all. So, please to my show, Pratibha Das Hathiburwa. Welcome, Pratibha, to Exploring the Gold Mine. How do you feel to be here?
Vandana. Thank you, Vandana. Thank you for having me here. And good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And I'm really looking forward to this show and talking about writing and about an author journey. Yeah.
Okay. So to start with, the question that intrigues each one of us, that how did you get into writing? I mean, how did the penny drop that this is what you want to do?
Yes. Actually, Vandana, sometime, ever since I was a child, I was not writing fiction, of course. It was more in the form of diary writing. I used to do a lot of write about my daily life or some interesting anecdotes. So it started like that. So I got into a diary because I read that book. I think everybody knows about that book, The Diary of Anne Frank. So most people have been motivated to keep a diary with her book. So I also started writing in my diary, and by class 6 and 7, maybe 11 or 12, I wrote my first poem, and we submitted it to the school magazine. So it started like that. I started delving into the world of poetry. In my leisure time, I would write poetry, and so on. And of course, a little bit of writing and sending articles and write-ups for the school magazine or the university magazine or the university resources. So that was there. I remember once I had also sent, I was very ambitious and I sent articles to Reader's Digest. Of course, they were all rejected, and I still have the return letters and all that. So there was a lot of writing of poetry in my school life, later school life, high school and college. I really admire. I read a lot, and I admired a lot of writers like Edith Blyton and Barbara Taylor Bradford and Daniel Defoe. So reading, I was always passionate about reading and writing. Then around 16, I did think of drafting a novel when I was around 16, and so I started with some. I think I wrote around 3-4 chapters. But we were in the science stream, and science stream, you really have to devote your time into studies, and also writing took a back burner. And I kept writing on and off poetry and all that. Then I got into a career as an in my IT career, into networking and software and all that. So writing was pushed behind the back burner. But what happened is when we started our business, when we started our software business, I really had to do a lot of writing. In the software also, there's a lot of writing involved, kind of technical writing, where we write technical manuals, brochures for the website. So I did a lot of writing even in my career, in my business. So I was doing a lot of content writing, technical writing and all that. So writing for the website. Yeah. So once I got into that, I don't know, somewhere around 2009, something, I was thinking I want to write something of my own, maybe something technical or something. I wanted to have my own creation, my own product. And somewhere the thing came to me of writing a children's book. I mean, that idea grew in me. As it is, I've always loved reading, and I read a lot of fantasy books. In fact, my reading is equal to that of a teen or a young adult. A lot of in the genre of fantasy, say Harry Potter or Twilight, Vampire Academy. So I was writing a lot of fantasy, which is very related to children books or middle grade fantasy. So from then the idea grew, and I started writing, and I wrote my first book.
Yeah. So you have written on different platforms. So we'll come to that. But prior to that, I want to ask you a question. Let's see what happens is that a writer wants to tell his own story. Okay. But sometimes is it dictated to you, as in the sense that whether what I write, I want to write this, but whether it will be appreciated in the market, whether this is what the readers want. Do you have such thoughts in your mind when you write a book?
Fortunately, it is there. Like, you write something and it is not in demand in the market, it's very difficult to get published. It's very difficult to market. In the first thing, it's very difficult to get it in the bookshops, or the publishers to accept your manuscript there. But fortunately, I write a lot of fantasy. That market is there. Although again, in India, that market is a little new. People read more of romance and memoirs and autobiography or self-help. They don't, but the younger people are nowadays getting into fantasy and paranormal and that stuff. So that is there. But fortunately, my genre is such that it is saleable in the market.
Okay, for the audience who have joined us now, I would like to tell you that Pratibha has authored 6 books till now, which are already in the market. The first 4, The Magical Ventures of Lolly and Lenny, these are a volume of 4, which is a children's book, A Redemption, and then Child of Paradise, Listen to Your Dreams. So these are the books which Pratibha has written. Pratibha, can we have a look at the cover of your book in case it's available with you?
Yes. So the first 4 volumes are Magical Ventures of Lolly and Lenny. There are 4 volumes in this series.
Yeah, lovely.
They are middle grade fantasy. So there are 4 volumes.
Fantastic. The cover pages look fantastic.
Thank you so much. Then I have a paranormal crime thriller, Child of Paradise, Listen to Your Dreams. So Child of Paradise has 2 covers. Previously it had this cover, and now it has this cover.
Lovely.
And then I have fantasy romance novelette, Redemption. It's a fantasy. It's a romantic suspense with fantasy elements. Yes, that's about it.
Pratibha has another book that is coming up. We'll talk about it a little later. But in the meantime, Pratibha, I quickly want to ask you a question. Then I happened to come across an interview in NDTV Prime where this famous children's writer, Anushka Ravishankar, she says that she's a writer of children's book. For the people, for the audience, I would like to tell you But she says that, in India, it is very difficult to, create a name in the children's book sector. The reason being that children still want to go for foreign books like Harry Potter and others. And even if you struggle to make your reach to the children, if you enter any bookstall, you see that your books are in some darkest corner of the bookstall. So, what is your take on this?
Yes, quite an interesting question you've asked. So you're meaning to ask me that the Indian books from Indian writers are not given a preference. Is that it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. Can you hear my voice, Vandana? Is it clear?
Perfect.
Is my voice
perfect?
Yes. Yes, it's very difficult. First thing is children books. First thing, the Indian market is, so the publishers, they don't want children books because it's very difficult for them to market them. So first thing, you can't get it through the publishers. And second thing is that we need to expose our children to Indian writers also. In fact, I brought up this issue in a lot of entrepreneurial meets also, and I've told school owners and people from the education bodies that please include, besides J.K. Rowling and Enid Blyton, please put books from Indian writers into your shelves, because children can't make a decision. Like what happens, even I face a lot of challenges while writing children books. Especially marketing them and promoting them, because what happens, a child has to depend on the parent to get them the books, on their parents. So they have no idea who's the writer or what books are going on. But in case now I'm writing adult books like 14 plus, the paranormal crime thrillers and the fantasy books. So the young teens are reading, or people in their early 20s. So they find out somehow through their Instagram and social media. So it's very easy to market these books. But what happens is children books very difficult because it's dependent on the parents. So parents has to be aware and expose the children to more Indian writers, so that Indian writers also have a platform to write and publish more books. So that's what, like, build awareness for exposing them to the children books and all that.
So one more question on the children's book is that, see, you have written those 4 volumes of children book, which is for the age group, say from 10 to 14 or so. Okay. Now, today when you write that book, you have crossed that age long back. And whatever you remember about that age is also, I think, just some glimpses of that age. So how do you relate to the mindset, to the frequency of children of that age in this age?
Yes, I've got this question a couple of times, that how do you write a children's book? How do you get into the minds of children? I feel that what has helped me is I've been very keen on reading. I read a lot of fantasy books, a lot of middle grade books like Goosebumps, R.L. Stein's Goosebumps, Harry Potter. Harry Potter is my favorite series. Then young adult books like Hunger Games and Twilight and Vampire Academy. So they're all fantasy genre. So I'm very familiar with that genre. So that's why it's very easier for me to dwell with the genre. That is one of the things. If I even read I even read Famous Five and Bill's Famous Five. So I'm very passionate about books, especially in the fantasy genre, and I can relate to younger people a lot. I'm people in their teens. My niece is a avid reader and she's in her teens, and we really get along well. I feel I can relate to younger people more, and I'm always surrounded by children. My children are very young. So when I write dialogues and all, it's very easy. It's very familiar to me. Their world is very familiar to me. Children books require a lot of world building. You have to build up a world, and you have a lot of creative freedom in children books. So you are the creator of rules. You create your own kingdom. So you're the master of that kingdom. So I feel it's very comfortable, and that's why I find it very easier to write children books.
So no wonder you're so good with words. So that's what I kept on telling you throughout our interaction before the chat, that it's difficult for me to connect with you in terms of your vocabulary and word power.
Oh, thank you so much.
For the audience, I'm going to tell you, Pratibha, along with writing this children's book, she has also written this Child of Paradise, which is a paranormal crime thriller. And there is another book in the pipeline, butterflies in the stalk. Am I correct, Pratibha?
Yes, yes, right,
That's
right.
a contemporary romance. So, Pratibha, now my next question arises from here, that I have seen most of the authors, they choose a platform to write. For example, someone is a children's writer, or someone is a romantic writer, novels writer, or someone is a crime thriller. But how do you get the courage and the I don't know, what do I say? How do you get the courage or the ability to write on cross platforms? On different platforms. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yes, Vanda, I get you because people are usually they usually have a particular genre they specialize in. So I don't know. I feel it. I've been led by intuition. I've gone with the flow. So when I feel it's like a very magical thing because when I was writing children books, my book, my latest release, which is Child of Paradise, Listen to Your Dreams. It's a paranormal book. There's I feel this story had been chasing me for some time. So
Okay.
it's a paranormal crime thriller. So it was chasing. I was seeing a lot of scenes of this story. I'd go on walks, or I would be listening to music, and the name of the book is Child of Paradise. And I used to listen to a lot of music from Maxim. He's a pianist, and I have a lot of albums of him. He's a piano. He plays the piano, and he's got a song. He's got a song called Child in Paradise. So I don't know. This book was chasing me for some time, but since I was writing children books, I never thought I had it in me to write something like a detect, because this book is also a mystery book. It's a cozy detective book. It's a thriller.
Mhm.
So and a lot of crime related stuff is there. It's a crime thriller. So I never thought I had it in me to write a crime thriller. I thought I thought it's a fancy inspiration to add more glamour to my writing. So I really this story kept chasing me for some time, and then then for after a while I decided to write the book, and I had to do a lot of research for the paranormal crime thriller. Because it's in the genre of crime, and you can't play around with that stuff. You really need to know your facts. So I spoke to the police, I spoke to the people in the criminology department. I read a lot of resources on criminology. So I really worked hard on that book with the research and all, because it's a crime thriller. So after I wrote that book, I wanted to take a back seat, because it was a lot of hard work and research, and
Yeah,
getting in
it
touch with a
drains
lot
you.
of people. So pardon me.
It
So
drains
by
you,
the
writing a book. Yeah.
Yes. So by the time I finished that book, I was inspired by another idea, which is my butterflies in the storm. That idea also grew in me. So I'm just being led by my thoughts and my feelings. Whatever idea inspires me most, I go on with that flow. And Child of Paradise will also have sequels later, but it needs a lot of research. So I'm keeping it to that for later. And I'm writing a lot of fantasy and paranormal now, which is my my platform. So that's how
So
I just go with it.
yeah, while doing a little research about you, when I'm talking about cross-platform, I also happen to come across, Pratibha, another page of yours which is about inspirational quotes and poetry. So that's
Yes,
another feather in your cap.
yes, yes.
Uh, so I've gone through your inspirational quotes. They're amazing, and your poems. But for my audience who are live with me, I would like you to tell us a small poem of yours. Recite a
Oh,
small
what
poem, a small
you want?
poem.
Okay, let me just check out. Yeah, I'll just read it out. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
It's Yes. If you want to keep everyone happy, be ready to compromise your own feelings, once in a while your self-respect, and at times your own happiness. If you want to be happy with everyone, judge not. Live and let live. Many a time ignore a fault and attitude. Be respectful, yet maintain your own boundary.
Amazing. It's lovely, Pratibha. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Vandana.
much. Uh, Pratibha, I was going through the reviews for your book, Paradise. The review people who have joined us that please go through Pratibha's reviews also regarding the book. Of course, you read the book and also go through the reviews of Childhood Paradise. They're amazing. And you might be knowing, but let me quote a couple of reviews for the who have joined us live. See, I got a review who says, for me, the journey while reading the book is something undescribable. I haven't read something curiosity, intense moments, fear, and ravishingly led by well-maintained literary ornaments. I recommend it to every bookish soul. Go for it. It will never disappoint you. Another review, there are a couple of them which is worth mentioning. The story is very engaging. Family drama. The book is going to leave you completely intrigued until the last page. The book overall is very gripping. And one more, I couldn't help myself reading these out. Otherwise, there are plenty of them. The last one, Paradise, is a paranormal crime related novel consisting of several twists and turns. The plot of the book is laid so well. The narration and characterization is done beautifully. This is a for sure recommended book for mystery. It was amazing, Pratibha. I mean, tell us something about your book, upcoming book, Butterflies in the Storm.
Yes. Okay. Butterflies in the Storm is in the genre. It's a contemporary romance book. It's about a young girl coming of so it's about a young girl, Ria. She's an 18-year. It's about the struggles in her life and how she battles her. So Ria is somebody who's like trying hard to make a mark because she's somebody who has no parents and living on the of relatives is no cakewalk. So she's trying to stand on her own feet, become independent, and she works very hard. But then there are a lot of struggles in her life, like financial struggles and cruel relatives, manipulative aunts, jealous cousins, and a controlling brother. So in spite of all that, she struggles and she becomes a topper she becomes a topper and due to her brilliant results, she gets through in one of the top universities. So that's what she makes. She tries to make something of her life, and finally she's settled. But then again, there are her beauty and her brains catch many an eye, and there especially when one of the eligible bachelors, a lot of devious elements trying to frame her, set her up in a game of deceit and jealousy. So it's all about family drama, and as well as there are a lot of fun elements because it happens at the university campus and a lot of campus stories. But again, there are a lot of there's between different characters, and there's also some bit of intrigue and suspense and so on. It's basically she overcomes all her struggles to be a woman of substance.
So from what you said just now, a question immediately cropped up in my mind, and I want to ask you a question. That these characters that you live in your novels, or are they just simply imaginary characters, or to put it straight, can I put it like this, that does it happen that there is a character you don't like and you show them in a bad light, the similar kind of character in your book? So, and please answer this question very, very honestly.
Yeah, I think that's why they have all this disclaimer in a book that it doesn't resemble any person living or alive. But you know what? Your writing is influenced by whatever happens in your life, the struggles in your life, and whatever pain you go through in life, whatever struggles, it makes your writing very strong. It makes your writing very real. and so it appeals to people more. So because a lot of stuff in our life, the betrayal, the deceit, or the alienation, the loneliness, the depression, this is common to a lot of people. So once a writer is influenced by whatever has happened in their life and they put it across in a story, a lot of people can you're not willingly trying to put somebody in a bad light, but what happens is that you can carry that influence of whatever happened in your life to your writing and make your writing more real. The way the characters behave, how they would, their gestures, or how they behave in a particular situation, how they would act towards somebody. So the pain and all the emotions you go through makes your writing very real, and you can use those emotions in your writing, in your books.
Absolutely. So, it is said that when you start writing, there is no pressure. But once you start doing well, your books start doing well, then you're under tremendous pressure to perform. So, with your Child of Paradise doing so well, are you feeling that kind of pressure, or is it the same as it was when you started?
Pardon me, can you? But then I didn't get you because of the voice was going off in between.
I'll tell you. It's like this. I'm saying that some authors have quoted that when you start writing as an author, there is no pressure on you. But say
Yes.
once a book does well, then pressure starts building up because there is so much expectation from your readers. Child of Paradise doing phenomenally well. Are you under pressure to perform, or are you feeling that kind of pressure, or is it same for you?
What I feel is the response your writing is once it's out in the public domain, you have to build yourself in such a way that every day it won't be nice. There will be bad reviews and good reviews coming. So you have to be prepared to prepare for your journey. It will never be a smooth journey. So I'm okay with it because sometimes what happens is sometimes somebody is a romantic fiction fan and he reads a paranormal crime thriller, or somebody is a fantasy freak and he reads a romantic book. He might not like it. It's the perspective of the people. So you are expressing whatever the story came to you. It's a writer's expression. So no writer can be good or bad. He's just expressing his thoughts, his feelings, his way of his idea of a story. Of course, your grammar should be correct. It should not be like full of grammatibles, the wrong sentence structures and all. But usually, you can't judge a book. Even if they judge you, it's part of a writer's life. You go on with it. You take it in your stride. I feel I should take it in my stride, because if you go, your life it's like a wave. One day good reviews come, you're happy. One day bad reviews. So you take it with a pinch of salt and you go on. Don't take the pressure.
So we'll quickly move on to rapid fire section, which is always there in my show. And after that, we'll come back with some more questions. So are you ready for the rapid fire? Quick rapid fire. First thing that comes to your mind, don't wait. Okay?
Okay.
Let's start. Your favorite author?
J.K. Rowling. I have many.
Favorite book?
Favorite book, A Woman of Substance.
Favorite quote?
Favorite quote by me or anybody?
Yeah, anything. Whichever could be your favorite.
There's one famous J.K. Rowling quote. I don't know, it will come to me nicely right now. That you can. It's about your friends. Like, it's very difficult to hurt your friends. You can hurt your enemies, but you can't hurt your. It's very difficult to go against your friends. You can easily go against your enemies. That's one of my favorite J.K. Rowling quotes.
Very nice. You believe in writing for passion, writing for money, or writing for fame?
All three are. Have money to publish the book. Now people know you. Nobody's going to read your book. So I will tell. It's the three factors are important. It's important, but you need the money to continue with your writing life, to continue as an author.
Anyone can write, or only people born with the talent can write?
If you're willing and you develop a craft, you can do anything if you're willing and you're interested to develop that craft. That is my take on it.
Okay. Which is one question you're tired of answering?
Yeah, as soon as my book was released some 10 years back, now people were asking me what are the sales of the book, how
Yeah.
what how's your book doing and all. And insulting, but it's like, what is your salary? And you're just released your book, nobody knows you. It takes time, it takes 10 years to build a reader base. So it's
Absolutely.
very
Absolutely.
that do people read your books, do you have a readership? I mean, don't do that. Just ask the author, buy the book if possible, or encourage the author, or spread the word around. And even if you can't, just tell her best wishes, but don't ask what is the sales of the book. So I don't like that question.
Okay. So to be a writer, you have to be a reader first. Myth or reality?
It does matter, because reading makes you familiarizes you with the right construction and all that. You become a better
So
writer with reading.
reality.
Reading is very important. Most readers are writers,
Okay.
so I can say
Morning,
that in one
evening, night. Morning,
morning.
evening, night. What is your writing time?
Writing time, morning.
Mine
Morning is
too.
the best
Everything
time.
I do is, I'm a morning person too.
Yeah, but of course, a writer as a writer, it's very difficult to be fixed with that time, because your children go to school, or like, there's exams and
Yes.
all come, and you have your own business. But I prefer morning of ideas here. There's a fresh flow of creativity, because whatever you
Yes.
thought the previous is processed in your subconscious. But of course, like, you have to be flexible, and sometimes it's usually after children come from school around 4 to 5, or somewhere in the night.
Favorite character from your book? Favorite character
Favorite
from your
character
book?
in a Child of Paradise, Tia has one of her spiritual gurus, spirit guides, spiritual counselors. So she guides a lot. She guides me, Tia, a lot, because Tia goes through a lot of depression, and she has a lot of problems in her life. So she's a 60-year-old lady. She has got her own yoga studio. So I prefer. I mean, she's based on the friends in my life. She's inspired by the friends in my life. So she's one of
Okay.
my favorite character.
Okay. Your favorite story endings, like a happy ending or a sad ending, or some audience to think about the ending. So, what is your favorite ending?
Favorite ending of a book,
Yes.
of my book, of my book.
Any book? No. Any book that you might
Okay,
have
right.
read or you are in.
Any author. You I like happy endings, but I also like the surprise element. I really like R.L. Stein, R.L. Stein's books Goosebumps, because he really tricks the ending. He twisted a bit, and it's such an element of surprise in the way he twisted. It's really great writing. I love R.L. Stein's Goosebumps series.
Okay. So, your story is the work you create. The title and the synopsis are simply marketing tools to entice your readers. Myth or reality? Just one word.
It is a reality, because readers will just read the backstory and try decide whether they want the book. And even publishers, before thinking whether they'll publish the book, they have to see the synopsis should be appealing to them. It should appeal to the market and the audience. So it is a
Do you listen
reality.
to music while writing? Do you listen to music
No,
while writing?
and music very distracting. I love music, and I use music while going for a run, or walking, or washing my dishes. But when I write, I don't want music. It distracts me.
We would get more of children's novels and children's books from you, romantic novels, crime.
Actually, as I told you, I'm writing cross-platform. So my current my release is, which is in the last stages of publication. It's a contemporary romance novel stories, which will be released as one book. And after that, I'm also planning to write a retold version of an Indian mythological story. It's a fantasy story. And Child of Paradise, maybe later there will be a sequel.
Pratibha as a person in one line. Just in one line.
I'm an emotional person, and I love my family, my children, my friends. And although emotions were also my strong point, because I can channelize it in my writing, as well as be empathetic about people and situations.
Pratibha as an author.
As an
Pratibha as
author,
an
yeah. As an author, I just don't want to be an author for the sake of fame and name. I want to be an author of books which bring a change in people's life, which has a strong message to it, and be inspired by it to live their life. So my book should have a strong message. So I want to be an author which brings a message humble way possible and make a change in this world.
Your idea of romance: heavens align, angels sing, candlelight dinner, or something else?
No, there should be both. There should be the thorns also where they overcome it, and as well as the roses where they appreciate it. So people should see two sides of it, but it should not be very tragic also. But if it demands, yeah.
First thing you do when you wake up?
But besides that, I would say I would like to meditate or read an inspirational blog or a book like, say, Chicken Soup for the Soul. Sit in my veranda, watch the greenery around, and read a book or meditate.
So, one location you would like to visit from your book?
One location, in Georgia. I think most of my books are Indian books and they are based here. One book is based in Georgia. Maybe go there, United States. It seems it's very beautiful.
Yeah. What would you like to achieve as an author? Some dreams, some landmarks, some milestone?
Yeah, be well read all over the world internationally and live my life as an author. It is multiple things like my business, my software. It's very stressful, so I want to continue to write as an author, write more books. I think every author has that dream to write and get more, publish more and more.
You could go back to your school days and change one thing. What would it be which might have changed which might change your life significantly?
I don't think I have any such wishes. I don't look back. Whatever happened, it happens for a cause, I believe, and we make the best of it. I've never thought that way, actually, Vandana. I'm sorry I'm not be able to answer this question.
Biggest mistake you have made in your life? Anything?
Mistake. We always make mistakes and we learn from them. We can't have a perfect life, so it's fine. And you'll keep making mistakes, and it will never be perfect.
Sum up your author experience in one word. This is the last one.
It gives a meaning and a purpose in my life and keeps my life structured and balanced. Balance. Okay. I will say balance is the right word.
Balance. Okay. So, Pratibha, you have done extremely well in your rapid fire session.
I've given long.
It was wonderful. It was great. So, all of us who have joined us, so go ahead with the conversation. If you have any questions for Pratibha, do message us so that we can catch hold of Pratibha since she is here and get the answers to your questions. So please start messaging us with your questions. So it is said that it is not as difficult as it is to publish it, and not as difficult to publish it as it is to sell it. So your comments, I mean, how do you view this thought?
It's very true. It's very true. It's easy writing a book, but it's very difficult to get it published and to market the book. Because from my own experience, when I first started writing in 2010, I had sent my books to agents and publishers. or their audience. And of course fantasy is a little common. Even then the agents sometimes they reply and they say, Pratibha, you're in India and the book will be published here, we will be needing you for the marketing and promotion, so it will be very difficult. So getting a publisher is very difficult. And even in India what happens, the publishers, they usually prefer, the big publishers, they usually prefer people with already who have a huge network or fan base. Like it might be the celebrities, or it might be the high profile people, or people with connections. So it's very difficult to get published in India also, to pass the first phase itself. And thing is, a lot of publishers also, what happens is, the, what I was saying was, it's very difficult to get published. And what I did was, after some time, oh no, what I meant to say is that publishers should also have a CSR kind of thing, corporate responsibility. I mean, I know it's very difficult if the book doesn't sell and all, it's a loss for the publishers, but they also have to be, they also kind of have a social responsibility, like to bring in new talent, bring in new writers,
Yes,
so that
absolutely.
we have good literature, we have rich literature. So even if it's risky, to invest a little amount of their investment in new writers. So it's very difficult to get yourself published. And
Absolutely.
again, marketing is another, unless you don't have a fan base, marketing is very difficult. But nowadays there are a lot of social media platforms like
Yes.
Facebook and Instagram, and book clubs and Goodreads, there are a lot of readers over there. And Instagram, there are a lot of young readers, a lot of bloggers and reviewers. So you have to go from there.
So Pratibha, now from children's book, you have stepped into the next platform, which is romantic novels, which is where your target readers are basically the teenagers.
Late 20s, yeah, from around
Yeah, okay.
14 to 20 group, yeah, 25,
Okay.
30.
Now see what happened. I personally feel that in India, the reading habit is very low. Vis-a-vis other countries where I think the reading habits are much more. And over and above that, this social media thing has really taken a toll over all the teenagers, or
Yeah.
for that matter, the adults. So, which further impacts their reading habits. So, in such a situation, how do you look at writing a romantic novel or a paranormal crime thriller and placing it in the market, and and that doing well? I mean, that's amazing. How do you manage to do it, and how do you think it's going to be in future?
Yes. That's what one is, children books is very difficult to market the books. One is because it is what happens is the children are not exposed to the books. Even publishers, they don't want to publish children books because they don't want to take the risk. So I feel, the awareness should be built for reading. Here there is not much awareness for reading. What happens, I've spoken to my friends in US and Australia, some from the teaching, in the US and all, the reading is part of the curriculum. So what happens is, the children are incentivized to read a lot of books. And it's not a separate activity, it is inculcated as a habit. Besides the textbooks, they are made to read a lot of non-fiction and fiction books. And I know that the libraries, and there are a lot of libraries in the school libraries, and even in every county, there are libraries where they can borrow books, because buying books is a costly affair, especially with lifestyle, and we're always budgeting, and we're trying to live on a budget.
Right.
And also the children should be able to borrow those books and buy the books, where yes, they have that system. And plus they also, in the summer breaks and all, they told me that they have a lot of reading programs where we reward reading programs and all that. So children are incentivized to read a lot over there. So that awareness should be built. Fortunately, once they become teenagers, or like in the early 20s, they're exposed to Goodreads and Instagram, there are a lot of there's a huge reading group there, a lot of book bloggers, book reviewers. Even Facebook, they have opened up their pages, so that awareness is there later. But still we should we as the teachers and the people from the education department, they should work towards building more awareness for reading, so that children inculcate reading as a habit. And read more.
Pratibha, does it happen that, when you write a scene, you get so involved? I mean, it gets very overpowering for you. For example, to explain what I mean, is that suppose you write a very, very powerful, sad scene. Does it impact your mood on that particular day, or does it make you feel low? I mean, because you're so involved with the scene, does that happen or no? I write a scene and I'm finished. I close my manuscript and that's it. How is it for you?
Yes, when you write the story, you kind of choke at some of the scenes when things happen to you. I too find myself very emotional about some scenes, and I feel my throat is choked and all. That is part of the writing thing. But of course, we have to come out of it. But it's very good in a way. It helps in your writing and makes your writing more emotional. So that is there. That is part of your writing. It will be there. You can't. There's no escape from it.
So another, I want to know everything about how you do it. So, there are some very, very personal questions I keep asking you. So one more of such question is, for example, when you start writing and you create a character, okay? You create a character for a reason, isn't it? And your character, say, would die halfway through your novel, for example. Or let's say he dies halfway through the novel, and for whatever reason. And now when you start writing, when you start building your story and you reach a point where, you have to kill this person. I mean, kill in the sense that you have to make him die. And you're so much in love with this character that you say, no, I don't want him to die. I want to be there in the novel. So does it happen? And does it happen to you? And if it has happened, if it hasn't happened, fine. If it has happened, then what have you done? Did you make him live, or you say, no, I have to go for it? I mean, this is the plot, because once he dies, 2 more characters have to come. So he has to die. So how is that decision?
Yeah, actually, I've heard about this, like where the characters killed and the writers, and in fact, people have questioned J.K. Rowling about Dumbledore when he was killed and all. Yeah, but till now, my characters have not died except for the villains, and they're already bad characters. So I've not faced that problems as of now. I don't know. One book where one of the characters is a ghost, and some of my readers have told me, why is he a ghost? Can he come back? Can we have his story again? So I'm also mulling over, it's a fantasy, can I bring him back or something? Yeah, that's there. But as of now, I've not killed it. I mean, only the villains have died in my stories.
So you're very lucky, no questions from the audience till now. So, okay. One more question which I want to ask you is that, is there a timeline you give yourself that, yes, I have started this story and I have to finish it, say, within 6 months or a year or so?
Yeah.
With the flow stick, I start writing and let it take its own time, basically. How do you?
I'm trying to do that, give myself a timeline, but being a family person with children and all that, and so many things happening, even you have a business of digital marketing and mentorship of startups and all that, so it comes in the way. I do try to give myself a timeline, but unfortunately things don't happen that way. Yeah.
How do you select the title? You write a story and then you select a title. How do you do that?
I usually base it on the main character and how the story goes. A Child of Paradise is about Tia, and she's truly a child of paradise, very innocent, and she tries to live the right way, but bad elements come into her life. Similarly, Butterflies in the Storm is when there's a storm, it's most vulnerable at the butterflies. Imagine the butterfly is so fragile, and the storm comes, and there's a wind rain, the houses are uprooted, the cars are uprooted. So it's about Ria. So it's Butterflies in the Storm, how she survives. The title, usually it's on the main character.
Pratibha, since we will be closing shortly, we are running out of time. So one note from your side to our viewers. Anything you want to say to our viewers? Yeah, anything you want to tell our viewers?
A quote, or like about my books, or what?
Anything you want to tell your viewers?
Uh, yeah, I want to tell my viewers that guys is doing the rounds and is getting a lot of good reviews. So do check out detective, as well as it's got paranormal elements. I'm sure you'll enjoy it because the reviews are doing very well. And my next book coming, which is Butterflies in the Storm, it is a contemporary romance book and will be out soon. And I'm also writing a lot of fantasy and a lot of paranormal. So it will be very encouraging if you read my, be motivated to publish more books, because writing is a costly affair. If your books don't do well, you can't go on writing. So read me as a writer and do keep reading my books. And thank you for joining us. It's been wonderful that all of you came here and encouraged our show, as well as encouraged me as an author. Yeah, Vandana.
Thank you so much, Pratibha, for accepting this invitation to be on the chat show with me. My side, I want to tell you that Pratibha is a very sensitive and a wonderful author. Please read her book, Child of Paradise. Listen to Your Dreams. It's wonderful. It has many surprise elements. It has it has probably many different kinds of moods in her book. So please support her, share her love, share please read her up book also, Butterflies in the Storm. Support her, help her in becoming a wonderful author, what she wants to be. So next week we are coming up soon with